Can women get away with exercising less than men and still get the same benefits? Well, a recent study suggests the answer is yes. Now, we all know that physical activity and exercise can reduce your chances of disease and early death. And we also know, unfortunately, that in general, women tend to be less physically active than men. So, researchers wanted to know if there was a difference between the benefits of physical activity in men and women. Now, this recent study looked at over 80,000 people. The researchers used accelerometers, little devices on the wrist, to measure 24/7 physical activity over a week. Now, not surprisingly, people who were the most active had the most benefits. They were least likely to get heart disease and die early. And what was surprising is that women seem to benefit more from the same amount of activity as men. At any level of activity, women had lower chances of getting heart disease and dying earlier than men. Now, women who did moderate activity for about 12 to 15 minutes per day on most days of the week had about a 30% lower chance of getting heart disease and heart-related death. Now, for men, in order to get that same 30% benefit, they had to do more than twice as much physical activity as women. This is similar to findings of an earlier study in a different population. So we're starting to get a good picture of differences of physical activity in men and women and the benefits. Now, the authors didn't quite know, and we don't quite know why this difference occurs, but they speculated that it could be to the effect of estrogens on reducing fat in the presence of exercise, and it can help women who exercise lose fat faster. Also, women tend to have higher type 1 muscle fibers. Now, these are the muscle fibers that are oxidative aerobic. So again, you tend to burn more fat with these ones. But still, there's a lot of questions that remain. But what this evidence suggests is that maybe the physical activity guidelines, which are applied to both men and women currently, need to differ based on guidelines for women and guidelines for men. And in that way, if it does tend to be lower for women, it will hopefully encourage more women to exercise.